My name is Mark Fredericks Ako Edache. I'm a psychologist and a mental health counselor. Thank you. Peer pressure can be the direct or indirect influence of people by members of their age group or society, or people to whom they have a social relationship. So the influence that they have on them, whether direct influence or indirect influence, is peer pressure. And it can also be the psychological demand of the people in a social cycle. The causes of peer pressure are better seen in three aspects: biological aspect, psychological aspect, and social aspect. Now, the biological aspect is based on the understanding that every age has its own demand. When a child is 17 or 18, the demand at that stage biologically need the child to behave according to people of that age. So the pressure can come when people biologically succumb to the demand of their age. And then psychologically, it can be based on what the people in that age group require of you. It can be directly or indirectly, it can be spoken or unspoken. Maybe when you mingle with them, what they do, you find yourself doing it or you feel like doing it. That is the psychological aspect. Now the social aspect involves the need for belongingness or the need for acceptability. People in a certain age range behave in a particular way that's accepted by people of that age. So the need for you to behave, for your behavior to be accepted or to belong to that group is also a cause of peer pressure.
Okay.
Right. The fact is the effects are truly negative and positive, like you have rightly said. The positive impact or effect is such that people who succumb to peer pressure, they experience a sense of well-being, they experience a sense of belongingness, they find themselves among people and they know that yes, they are not alone. Positively, they engage in activities that are beneficial to them, as activities that will help them to grow well in society. These are the positive aspect, and it is advisable that people belong to groups that will showcase positive aspect of how to develop themselves better. But unfortunately, on the negative aspect, people who succumb to peer pressure, they behave and they get involved in antisocial activities like drugs, thuggery, kidnapping, and most of these things that we see societal ills happening here and there, they are the negative influence of peer pressure. Because when they belong to a group of people that exhibit such characteristics, they are most likely to behave like that, and that is antisocial behavior. And it's a negative influence of peer pressure. The best way to deal with peer pressure is to identify the group of people that influence your behavior, whether negatively or positively. Once you identify the group of people and you see that the behaviors that they exhibit are positive, you can remain in that group. But if you discover that the behavior they exhibit is negative and is not adaptive, you can leave, run away. It's a saying that bad characters corrupt good manners. So when you don't want your manners to be corrupted, you leave bad characters. So the best way is to leave, flee. The Bible, the good book of the Christians, say that when you run away from the devil, when you avoid the devil, you run away from you, something like that. So if you leave a group that is characterized by bad influences, you'll be able to stay away from bad pressure or peer pressure. The advice I have for such people is that you make an effort to exit that group or stay away from that group, no matter how difficult it's going to feel for you. I can understand that you have been with a group of people for a long period of time and you discover that their behaviors are no longer palatable. It can be difficult for you to exit, but make an effort. As you make an effort, confide on someone, maybe a counselor, like us, mental health counselors. We can guide you on how to effectively exit or leave that group without harming yourself or making those people feel you are neglecting them. Trust someone, a significant other. Create a cycle of people that you can always run to whenever you are in a dilemma. Okay, so when you make that effort in the first place, because the first stage for you, or the first thing for you to do to exit whatever you don't like, is to decide that you want to leave, and then confide on someone. Counselors will always guide you on the most appropriate way to exit influencers that are going to affect your life. The advice I have for the youth on a general note is that you need to first of all know who you are, know what you want, and then decide to belong to a group that align their behaviors or their characteristics with what you like. And if the people around you are those that don't do what you like, just stay away from them. You must not belong to a group just by merely belonging to a group. Sometimes even by not speaking, their behaviors are indirectly affecting you. When they do some things and you don't do it and you belong to that group, they see you as somebody who is an outcast, an out group. So you find yourself behaving like them. Stay away. Be yourself and don't try to be like somebody else. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.